I don't know. Not a lot of reliable lockdown on Omega. That's the big weakness that I'm seeing right now. Not a great way to deal with these illusions that Mizu is eventually going to have. And even the team fight right now. Basically, everything is in favor of Galaxy Racer right now. They got good lanes, they got good team fight, they got good pickoff.
Dire
Maybe
team
not
pick.
survivability on
Admiral Tonka.
the Grimstroke and the AA. Conker's going to help with that. He's going to stand on the front lines, soak it all up, and even have the boat buff as well to be able to just be a bit of a beefy boy on the front lines.
It's even easy way to be able to set
10
up for the engine
seconds
apparition, spirit vessel builder. If need be, if it's a really
5
good game,
seconds
then you can
remaining.
definitely go for it against the bristleback. But yeah, like you were saying, they don't have the easiest way to set up for the Mirana arrow, and I'm a bit worried because now it means you're going to have to reveal one of the lanes, I believe. Like, Omega often like playing Mac on the bristleback, but I think either your position 2 or 3, one of them has to have a way to be able to set up for the
Dire
arrow,
team
and
ban.
they do go the DK. So that was the next best option. I mean, Sand King was still in the pool, but DK gives you some decent flexibility here.
Yeah. It's still a question of where exactly is this bristleback going to go, right? It can be a
10
1,
seconds remaining.
it can be a 2, it can be a 3, and this Dragon Knight's probably going to be a 2 or a 3,
5
right? It
seconds
just depends
remaining.
on, do you want that point target stun for the lane, for the kill threat, or do you want to be able to more easily withstand the pressure that a Kunkka might be putting out onto you into that mid lane
Radiant
as the
team
Dragon Knight,
ban.
with more armor, more sustain, even being able to use that the breathe fire to reduce a lot of the
Dire
damage
team
means that the
ban.
Tidebringer is not going to be quite as effective. So what else could they opt to go for? I'm liking the PL ban, nice diffusal carrier that can seriously hinder the effectiveness of a DK and a Bristle. Not so much the DK, but definitely Bristleback. But there's not much left in the form of break. I mean, you talk about those
10
passives.
seconds remaining.
The DK is one that takes big advantage of it as well. So
5 seconds
they
remaining.
might be opting to go for a bit of a sooner Silver Edge on this CK to be able to withstand that that amount of damage that they're going to need to pump through.
Radiant team ban.
You could Morphling for Galaxy
Dire
Racer.
team pick.
Just the matchup versus the Bristle, if that is the lane, is pretty nice. It's a hero that in your dreams look very potent on. Gives you some burst potential with the shotgun. You do need Tower Siege. Chaos Knight's not the greatest, but my only issue is that
10 seconds
the
remaining.
DK Mirana, again, I mean, you're never going to get a Dragon Tail on the
5
Morphling in the
seconds
lane, it
remaining.
feels like, before he attribute shifts, so there shouldn't be that much potency on a
Radiant
kill threat,
team
but
pick.
a double range into AA doesn't feel great. Could you Drow? No, again, I don't like double ranged. AA Drow is just like that's
You may
kind
now
of
select your
a nutty
heroes.
slot game.
Pretty good, particularly if you're able to lock in onto the Mirana first, and it's another Silver Edge carrier, so it's going to be nice. You can man fight as well. You don't even need to go onto the Bristleback, of course. That's the plan a lot of these times, but think about it. You fight into the Ursa as well. He can't turn around and man fight you. The Fury Swipes is going to be disabled for all of that break time. So, in your dream, he's a Slark player from back in the day. He's played many, many years of it. Mizu, no reason to take him away from his favorite CK. It's a lot of physical damage this game, though, so I feel like Dragon Knight's going to have a pretty decent time. This is actually an off-lane Dragon Knight coming through, so really leaning into the kill threat that they want to have
10
on this top
seconds
side of the map,
remaining.
trying to catch out the AA at every opportunity. Actually, is
5
this a...
seconds remaining.
They've been changing it around a little bit, Joe Cam and Paulson, in terms of who's playing 4, who's playing 5, so... I'm feeling much more strong about it being Grimstroke Chaos Knight. Oh, am I though? Am I? Pounce into Inkswell is quite nice, and you're still going to get the lockdown from having the cold feet. Like, you just cast cold feet first, they run away, you reality rift them back in, you stun. That might be enough.
I
So
think
maybe it is a 5 Grim.
I think you need the Grim in the Chaos Knight lane though, just because he's a better lane off against the Ursa. Because that doesn't look like it's going to be the greatest matchup for Mizu CK. We've seen time and time again that the Chaos Knight has been dominating lanes, left, right, and center. Like Mizu and Yokam, I've been incredibly impressed with their prowess of this duo, just getting synergy off the bat. It really feels like with this new roster here. So he hasn't really been too pressured in the lanes when he's had that Chaos Knight, and I think that Grimstroke is just going to further enable the pressure they can put on, and also someone who can man fight early on. But I'm a bit worried here for Omega's draft. I feel like Spirit Vessel, Ice Blast count as 2 of your heroes at least. Got a lot more stuns. It feels like it feels like Galaxy Racer's way to initiate fights seems a lot easier as well, whereas Dire are really relying on like a DK Blink or a Nick stun into Arrow. That's about it.
Who's building the vessel though? That's the question. Like you were saying before, maybe the Conquer.
Like,
but,
yeah, he's already got the urn queued up. It's such a good game. You've got DK and Bristleback. Like, you'd be crazy not to go for this game.
Yeah. And again, you've got the high kill threat just with that. The Grim, the CK, the AA, so you're always going to have charges. Someone is going to be out of place to be getting picked off. And, well, seems like it's a bit of a trend today with the pauses coming through. This time around, it's Galaxy Racer, with Paulson being the one. Man, only 2 of them have their voice pack? Come on, step it up. You got to support the team.
Yeah,
Welcome to Tiny Airlines. Please do not fasten your seatbelt.
They have some, like, the Yeet too. They got some good voice lines. What's going on? That's actually disappointing. How are Omegas? Omegas any decent? Have they?
Omega doesn't have one.
Yikes.
You need to step it up.
Come on, boys.
What would you do? Like, let's theory craft some Omega voice lines.
I got no idea.
What about, like, you've just been shanked or something like that?
All right, you're
like,
a bit more on the creative side than I am.
Like Mac Attack or something like that? I don't know.
I like the shank one. Mac Attack. Could you
something
do that?
to do with Mac Attack, you know? Like, it's not as bland as I just said it.
I wonder if you could do it as a spray, though.
Yeah.
Mac's beautiful face there.
We do love seeing the faces, you know, plastered in that mid lane especially.
Yeah, it's always just loves covering up the field of play. I'm surprised we actually don't see it more. I know. Are you spamming your sprays out in your pubs? You been playing many pubs lately? You been winning?
Dude, we've done like 70 hours of Dota in the past week. I have played one pub in the past week or so since we've been casting. I didn't put any sprays. I did a few of the nannies though. You know, I didn't want to do a "you think you good are" because you know, like I said, kind of like the question mark, I could find that it riles up other people. So the nanny is more of a, you know, it's a bit more neutral. You know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I see. They're still both good voice lines. You got to pull them out occasionally.
Does IG have a voice pack? I don't think they do. How can you not take advantage of the emo question mark?
Yeah.
After like how much publicity it got.
30s.
I don't know. Definitely a bit of a missed opportunity there.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like IG got a lot of fans as well. Off that last major.
You could even just say, like, you could put the voice line so that multiple people are seeing it, you know? Let's see who's the real evil genius, right? Everyone knows what that means now.
Yokam? Well, Yokam's gonna know what it feels like to be given away first blood here. As unfortunately, Shank just shanked him. Picking up that first blood there. Tino would have loved it, but not going to be the case. So we will see how the bounty runes look. And will be 3 bounty runes here for Omega. First blood getting picked up as well. Now you do got to keep in mind that Radiant, they have blocked the Ancients out. So this is going to...
Yeah, no, they haven't. Oh, wait, Radiant have. Ah, yes. Sorry, I was looking at the one on the Dire. As Shanksy still stayed on this top side of the map. So they're going for another kill immediately onto Yokam if they can catch it. CML's on the prowl.
I don't hate that at all. It is...
I kind of sense that it's happening, though, with Sam H not revealing that he's got the Mirana backing him up yet. liking this defensive positioning.
Oh.
And eventually the TP happens.
Okay. He's actually gonna get a kill on the Ancient Apparition. Oh, what? That TP
Shoot arrow, hit arrow.
timing. My lord. 2.5 second stun at level 1. That's all I'm gonna say. Why is that a thing?
You gotta land it.
You gotta land it. Not hard on the
pretty
DK
close.
though.
Close range. It's right on top.
Alright. How are we feeling about this mid matchup though? Alacrity and Mac. Do we feel like this Bristleback is gonna have a slight advantage here over the Conquer?
Eventually, not super early on, just because of obviously you can just buy up the magic stick, be a lot more sustainable in lane. The quill sprays aren't going to start to build up a bit sooner. So I think Alacrity is going to be feeling just fine at the very start of all of this. Do you want to start calling it like the Bristle Mac or something like that?
The Bristle Mac.
Yeah.
He's quite
Become a bit of a signature for him.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, we've seen teams prioritize on first phase banning it. I think last game, this game, it was the Puck plus... Did they get rid of the Brood? I think the Brood.
Yeah, and eventually they even got rid of his Ember Spirit too.
He's definitely making quite the name for himself on this position too. It's got a lot of those heroes that it can take over. Top, Mizu is in trouble. He's actually going to try and man-fight the Ursa. Gets a double crit. Oh my lord. The luck there for Mizu.
At least it's 30% at all levels. You know, this isn't some 12% bullshit coming through at level 1. You know, it's kind of justified, but still. I'm going to be feeling a little bit salty with that one there. Tino picks up a couple of those enchanted mangoes and comes back to the lane. You just want to keep spamming out onto this Chaos Knight as much as possible. And wouldn't you know it, brace of builds coming out from our offlaners.
It seems like it's the classic DK build. Just a couple of braces. Mizu has also been loving his own braces as well. Now, Mac is making a really early rotation. I'm not honestly quite sure what Mac's doing.
Well, they've scouted it out entirely because of that. No, not scouted out, sorry. They know when they can make that rotation because of the Deep Observer Ward. But doesn't result in anything. So Alacrity is just going to continue farming away. Mac's been able to get a good amount of farm super early on. He's been taking the small camp whenever he can. And now that he's level 4, he can put a lot more pressure in onto this Conquer. Level 5 now, actually. Been good with making sure his positioning... He's always turned around whenever that Tidebringer's on cooldown.
How about this bottom lane? A lane that we haven't paid as much attention to so far. Does seem like the Slark is having a pretty good time. 21 last hits compared to the 17.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Do you feel like in your dream should be thinking about an Orb of Venom in a lane like this?
Maybe, but you don't have a high amount of kill threat, right? Like, it's pretty rare that you're wanting to dive in onto a stun. Speaking of that, they went for the kill attempt there onto Your Dream. He had the Dark Pack going anyway. But yeah, with the AA, you compare how under threat you feel. It's nowhere near as much as...
Dive, Mac. He's got the bottle charges, so he's going to get out of a rough threshold where he might have got killed to the Tidebringer. But Polo Sun with a TP in. He'll still clean up the kill, but it does cost the life of the Conquer.
Mac starting to build up a little bit of a net worth lead here. Already 800 ahead of the Conquer. I believe this was into the Bristleback as well, so they knew what they were in for. Around. Some nice stacks. They finally get the D-Ward off by Shanks onto that Ancient stack, so they know that the Bristle's going to be looking to take that one up soon.
Polo's even going to scout out the triple of the hard, so some information there. Definitely could see Radiant come on over. Like, all they really need is the Conquer and Grimstroke at one stage to be able to take that hard stack, but I say that Mac's already going to think about doing so. Vanguard completed, and now his farm is going to skyrocket if they can just continue enabling your Bristleback. You see, meanwhile as well, Shanks is just trying to soak up as much experience as he can in the mid lane. It really feels like teams have just gotten so good at min-maxing constantly across the map. You know, the support stacking, then the carriers and cores go back farm the jungle, you occupy that lane, and nope, Shanks is in trouble though. Mac with a double damage rune is gonna still try and force him away from Mirana. No more leap charges, gonna cost Shanks his life, so they do trade a 1-for-1.
Blood in the wake.
With that double damage, it was enough to quickly take out Paulson. Again, no escape potential on this AA or the Grimstroke. You're so reliant on playing around with some of your other cores. You know, you've got 2 strength and Slark, who's very mobile. So you just need to be there to soak up a lot of the damage away from you, allow you to get your spell casting off. If you're able in like a situation like that, you get a lot of your abilities off. You don't really care.
Alacrity.
Running into the Conquer. Nice dodge.
TPR. Carapace. Oh, CMO. Nice prediction of where the turret was going to be. Gets that stun cancel. They do leave Tino solo up top, but now with a deep dive from Mizu, Tino's going to try and swing back over. He got baited a little bit here. Stroke of Fate. Along with the chilling touch level 3 from Polo, does bring him really low, and with all these 3 heroes here, it might actually force Tino to fall back into the jungle and dissolve that top lane.
Maybe just giving the Urn of Shadows over to Tino, make him capable of farming up a little bit quicker. No, I think you're expecting him just to go back to base. Fill up on a little bit of HP. Sure, they would have been loving a Possessed Mask if that one came out. Not going to be the case, though.
Safe harbor,
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Aren't you a game for In Your Dream down the bottom here? You know, hasn't been able to get much done out of anything.
CMO.
Items coming through to him, he's a little low here.
Radiant's
Be careful, as always, against that Dragon Tail.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The fact that Dire have also already taken that mid tower is quite the objective to bring down. That was also with the help of the Dragon Eye. Now it's going to free up the map. Shanks.
Count Shanks.
In Your Dream doesn't have the damage just yet, unfortunately, for himself. 3 points in the Dark Pact. But Dire have gotten off to a very good start this game. 1,000 net worth lead for them. And honestly, this DK lane has gone much better than I was anticipating. Arrow, whew, so close. Here comes the rotations though. In Your Dream survives on a slither of HP, but you got to be careful about Max Bruceback. The raid boss has already shown up 9 minutes into the game. The fact that he's this tanky and this hard to bring down, you know Alacrity TP'd into the lane. So he has no way but to do it the old-fashioned way to escape. Meanwhile, with the backline, they've dealt with a couple of the supports here, but Juke's still able to catch him out. Alacrity trying to kill off the creeps at least before he dies, but it'll cost him his life nonetheless. And so also going to cost him that tier 1 tower.
Man, the Bristleback, he's starting to become a little bit more of a threat. He's actually going into a Yule Scepter as well. Very interesting. Just to try and give himself a little bit more of that mana regen, I suppose. Enable them to chase up onto something like the Slark.
I guess it's also going to be nice to disjoint the Conquer combo, purge off the Spirit Vessel that he's also building into.
I'd say the Spirit Vessel's the main one.
Yeah.
I mean, as well, after this, you're probably going to go into something like an Ags, right? So just to have the regen coming through from that Voidstone component, you're going to have a higher max mana pool, of course, from the Ags itself, but the extra stuff of Wizardry. So they're just going to continue to keep building up and keep playing this style on Omega. Just keep running at faces.
Now, do we feel like Mizu has room this game to go Midas?
He's always going to find the time. He's like...
Is that...
I mean, you're going to need... I feel like they need a bit of scaling, perhaps. It is greedy. I do agree on that, but... the question is, will it be punished? I mean, he's the highest net worth on his team so far. So he's had a good start. It's just what can you do with it? This Bristleback, that's the one that you need to be addressing right now.
Yeah, it just feels like they might lose too much map control. You've already taken 2 tier 1 towers. I have very good Roshan taking potential as well. They kind of just need to get top at some stage for a little bit more control around the area. Maybe even start to hold the triangle for a short duration with some observer wards placed, and then Radiant will find it very difficult to contest that. Maybe even with some ultimates on cooldown. It's too early now, of course, but you know, it's definitely not going to take them too long considering they've got a 3,000 net worth lead, and you've got all the cores farming incredibly well.
Absolutely. What we got coming out here? The Yules is getting closer and closer to being finished, and then even going into a Sange afterwards. I like it. You've got a good amount of lockdown right now on the Galaxy Racer side. Eventually, you're going to be able to transition that into a Halberd if you like. That's going to be real nice against the likes of a Slark, a Chaos Knight, hell, even the Conquer, with all those big crits coming through.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
There we go. Smoke attempt.
Now, still is going to be a bit of an issue with how they start the fights. Early on, you can kind of brute force run people down, but once...
This is the one, though.
Oh, that's a
good pickup.
big target. Mizu's going to get caught too far away from the team. It's a much different Chaos Knight game than we've experienced previously. Now, in your dream. It's also getting chased down too. Shadow Dance is available. He can't TP up though.
Yoke might need to give him the Inkswell just for the extra movement speed.
Illusion.
I'll get the pounce eventually.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Now that he's away, of course, the extra movement speed, going back to the jungle. I like the fact that they've gone into this Echo Saber super early on In Your Dream. It's not a Void Spirit Echo Saber, so, you know, it's not perfect, but it does put a lot of pressure on, considering you're giving up a lot of space to enable Mizu. And, yeah, he's not going the Midas. He just went the Gloves of Haste, because, you know, it's good for farming potential, but going straight into that Shadow Blade. They realize they need to build up into this Silver Edge.
Top lane, Sam Hage.
A Blast as well.
They're going to try and attempt, but Dire, they're coming from the southern side here. Shadow Dance is on cooldown. You got to keep in mind, In Your Dream might have actually got baited from the attempt to kill Sam H. Oh no, that is not what you want to see from your Slark. And now Mac, he's even going to backstab off the retreat of Galaxy Racer. They'll lose both the supports on top of the Slark death there. Great stun timing from CML. They've also got the lane getting shoved out here, so this will be a tier 1 tower going into their name.
It's a lot finished up as well. A Blink Dagger finished up by Sam H's Dragon Knight going into the BKB after that. So we were talking about how there's a lot of potential to be able to quickly tech down Roche. They've gone and immediately done that. Single one team fight. Straight into it. Diffusal Blade finished. Yules finished. Vanguard finished.
Radiant's top tower is under
Just about
attack.
moving on forward with that Blink Dag, with all of your key timings that you've been able to claim with this aggressive lineup on Omega.
Top lane, Sam H. Spirit Vessel's out. Ice Path as well.
Arrow.
Arrow's going to be able to clip it In Your Dream, but he's got the Dark Pack in the nick of time. Even Mizu's going to opt to show up to the fight. The 2-second stump, they've used a lot of the control, and now you're worried about Mac coming over. This Bristleback is such a threat wherever he is, and it really feels like Galaxy Racer have to do their best to try and avoid Mac at all costs.
Just can't run into him, that's the issue. Paulson's going to go there to try and take away a few of these last hits, but he still claims all of them. Alright, Echo Saber complete. You've got the Possessed Mask, so that's nice when In Your Dream wants to be, you know, committing in onto these team fights. He's level 10 as well, so he's gone the additional strength, just realizing that he needs to live. The longer the team fight goes, the better it feels for Galaxy Racer.
Okay, he's really deep here, and they also got the Ice Blast on him. Omega, Moonlight Shadow, gonna try and protect the Bristleback at the moment. If they're unable to bring him down with the Ice Path, then I'd be really worried how this game's gonna turn out in the next couple of minutes. As somehow Mac will be able to survive, and now he can look to turn if this gets dragged on. Sam H gets a big kill on Alacrity, and without the Slark showing up there, he wasn't able to feast off the tanky Bristleback. They might still go in though. Top of the Piranha, that is plenty.
And that was with the Vessel as well. They actually committed the Spirit Vessel onto that. So good thing that Mac had the Yule Scepter to be able to withstand it, but still, to be not able to take him down with all of that popped onto him, just turning his back, right in front of a tier 2 tower. Spirit Vessel, AA Blast, 3 heroes hitting you. He is so strong right now. And that is going to be a Sanj finished up when he finishes this creep wave. So it's going to get even harder to take him down.
And that's also without the Ursa showing up. It's going to be relatively fast timing on the BKB here. But Tino...
Nice game sense.
Oof.
Gets out.
Yeah, he's been having an incredible game. There is a real reason why teams are banning out the Bristleback versus Mega. Feels like Mac plays it well, but it also feels like Omega just know how to play around Mac incredibly well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a reason they were undefeated when he was playing on that first day, right? Even picking up, that is such a good rune. The illusion, to be able to get rid of that, the Spirit Vessel, if they're able to get in onto you. Doesn't even need to use the Yule Scepter for that component.
Radiant's bottom tower
And yeah,
is under attack.
now it's straight into the Ags. How can you kill this Bristleback once he gets this Ags? Rather, how do you survive yourself?
That is a very, very good question. I don't know. They've already struggled so far, and...
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Actually, what is Sam H
Radiant's
going for
bottom
next? He's going to go
tower is under
BKB.
attack.
And...
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
then I'm really struggling to see
Dire's
how
top
these
tower
fights are
is
going to
under
get any
attack.
better. I mean, what is this? Shadow Blade completed maybe on Mizu, so you might have a start with the Ice Blast into Spirit Vessel, but it's just, they're so far ahead right now, and how they're posturing, they're well aware that they have this massive advantage. I love when teams are making sure they use this to full effect, and it definitely seems like Omega are doing that.
Oh, he actually TP's back after taking out one of these neutral creeps, so Pupil's Gift is just lying on the ground there. Anyone might
Tino.
choose to claim it.
Needs
Still got
help.
the Aegis.
Status resistance. Means that this combination from Alacrity is not going to last for too long here. They are still linking back down after the smoke. They tried to get a pick off up top. Tino, ultimate on cooldown, so they deal with the Aegis. Mac's not
Crystal's
nearby at the
coming.
moment. Maybe they can burst through the second light before Mac gets involved.
It's on
But
the
he
back
moves so
lines.
fast. 425 movement speed. There we go. Tino's going to get brought down. Alacrity needs help. The X going to give him a little bit of space. Once the Ice Blast comes back up, maybe they can deal with Mac, but they need to turn to the front line. Inkspell stun, controlling him at the moment. Torrent's gonna fly as well. Polo stun ultimate back up in a couple seconds. In your dream as well, up to 15 essence. Max Spirit Vessel up. There's the Ice Bath and there's the kill. They'll finally be able to bring him down. They'll turn to deal with Sam H2. A long drawn out fight where we see Galaxy Racer hit multiple heroes with double Ice Blast. Find these tanky heroes, and it looks like they're gonna be able to turn this into a team wipe as well. In Your Dream gets some much needed essence, and Galaxy Racer get a influx of gold for themselves as well.
Might have been able to bring him almost all the way towards his diffuser blade. Such a huge team fight for Galaxy Race to be able to take. I mean, previously, when they were making those sorts of deep dives, it was Mac doing it, but I don't feel like Tino has any kind of business being super deep into their enemy side of the map. They didn't have any vision on the high ground, and, well, being pretty effectively punished for it. Did they end up picking up that... I'm seeing a Pupil's Gift in the stash for... Let's see who that was actually. The
In Your
Slark,
Dream.
having picked it up.
Looks like Philo Stone. That's gonna be pretty nice for the Grimstroke. It's like, give me that one, brother. It's going for the Aghanim
Right.
Shard next. Okay.
400 gold away from the Shadow Blade for the Chaos Knight. He opted to go for the Armlet first, just to have that increased level of team fight threat. It's all about catching the backline, particularly
Top lane.
Shanks on his Mirana.
Well, they're going to be able to catch up the Slark. Very nicely done. Ancient Apparition. He'll tank up the arrow, but even
gets the Ice
Alacrity
Blast
just
off.
blind ran in. That might be enough for the kill on Sam H. Knight. Spirit Vessel expires. Did not believe he's going to tick out. We'll keep an eye.
Nice play again by Polo, though. Making sure it was there to
Did they
soak
call
up
down
the
the
arrow.
river?
Allows the Slark.
CML, In Your Dream, Dark Pack. It's on cooldown. They have any extra control coming through. Maybe the burst from Tino's Fury Swipes force stuff away. But the positioning, it's not going to be enough to get him back to safety. Yokan will attempt to TP out, but the Yule's counter from Mac nets them a 4th kill. They won't have any extra follow-up to deal with Mizu, but a double for Tino and 4 overall. The lanes aren't in the greatest spot, so they're not going to be able to punish for some objective kills, but nonetheless, a great one fight for them.
Very nicely done. Phantasm used to try and get some farm happening, as well as be present with the rest of your team. Ice Blast available. As Mizu's going to go for an attempt onto someone if they were farming in his triangle. Not quite yet, though. What's the timing on this this Silver Edge? He's still so far away. It's like 2,600 gold total that he needs. So still 2,000 away on Mizu right now. Looks like it's going to be a big way for them to come back into this. It's not as uneven as it used to be, but it just goes to show how different it is when you actually have the right person on the front lines there for Omega. Mac was right in the middle of that team fight.
I'm a bit worried that these BKB timings, once Omega pick them up, could just end this game. Because I feel like that's what Radiant are really relying on, that kind of magic burst with Spirit Vessel, Ice Blast against a lot of these tanky heroes. But once they get BKB, they're going to have a real big window of opportunity just to run over these fights.
Yep. 800 gold away from the Ags as well on Mac. Close to his level 18. Just running with the rest of the boys as well. Realizing that, look, they're probably going to be hunting for me, says Shanks. So he's just going to make sure he's in a position where you try and kill him, he's going to be able to turn it around onto you.
Dire tower is under attack.
The roaming observer ward, CML, walking around here. They've been able to spot out Alacrity, and you've got the Ursa actually coming into his vicinity. So, the hunt is here.
Oh, Alacrity. He's so hard to catch.
Available.
Once he stands still. Nope. Oh, they need the Impale. The Fusel Slow. Maybe that's enough. Boat's gonna fly. BKB from Tino. Stack up the Fury Swipes with the Phase Boots. Movement speed along with the Windlace. They're gonna look to turn. They got a little bit of backup coming through with another Force Up. Alacrity gets away. Another BKB is expired for the Ursa, so he can't DP out. What is going on? You lose 2. You went for a pick off there, but it's gonna cost them.
It's a little bit of poor execution coming out there. I mean, it was good presence of mind to just be chasing him up, but the delays coming through there, not able to get the stun off immediately, means that that boat is all Alacrity needs to be able to survive.
Dire's middle tower
Importantly,
has fallen.
only 250 gold away from his own BKB. So he's going to be able to survive a lot more of these chases onto him. He's already pretty speedy, having the Faded Brooch as well as the Phase Boots. So even with a Bristleback chasing you, you can oftentimes get away. Importantly for Mac, though, he's just about got the Ags completed. So Creep Wave will do it. It gets him his level 18 as well. Let's see what they're able to make happen.
I do feel like Radiant, I mean, if they stall off this BKB timing like I was saying, I see this Slark being a big issue as the game goes on. But are they going to get that time? Like, he's not getting a lot of space across the map because they're 3 kind of heavy core lineup that we see often from Galaxy Racer. So I guess that's going to give them nice scaling potential on Chaos Knight, but it means you're not going to be able to funnel all the farm you're probably looking to this game into your win condition Slark.
It's the timings, though. The timings coming through. DD bottled up now for your Bristleback. You've got the BKB finished up, now coming out to Dragon Knight. Fresh set of wards as well for CML. Lanes relatively shoved in on the top side. Bot side, not so much, but it's not a huge concern. They're going to group up together, try and get some kills happening. More importantly, objectives, as Roche just respawns. So if they're able to get a pick off, Radiant know that it's there with the Ice Vortex used. And I'm liking this from Mac. He's standing in on the front lines. He needs to be the one that they initiate on. He bought the Yules for a reason.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They haven't been able to catch anyone just yet. Very strong positioning from the supports. Finally, CML will get some vision, but I like that attempt, though. You know, you got Mac shoving in Alacrity. Did you have the Yules on a Mac? That's a greedy attempt. Okay.
Welcome back.
Wasn't the perfect timing that we saw from the Lina when we previously saw it. You gotta wait until the X-Marks is right towards the end. But that double damage, it's gonna be enough. Takes away another one of those TP points that we keep talking about. They're actually rotating up here for In Your Dream. Has he overstayed his welcome? Oh, the creep wave. Will the greed cost him?
I think they just want Roche. Second one's up. It is the shard too. Radiant, they're smoking up, but they're going to be too late. Omega are able to bring it down. Quick succession. You got to make sure you keep the Ancient Apparition alive. That Ice Blast is so important for a team fight to be able to burst the tanky cores. He's got a buyback for Polo if it continues to break out. But now the slows, once they're retreating, it gets them caught out of position. They're going to turn around the T2 tower. They need to stack up the essence here for In Your Dream. BKB popped as well. They're turning their attention. Bristleback with the back turned here. Tino in the back line deals with the secondary support. So there's no opportunity now, wants them down to reset. They even see Mizu farming underneath an observer ward, so the TP is actually coming through. Do they have detection though? There's a sentry for CML available. They're still going to get the stun set up, follow up, and all of Dire rotate over as well. A lot of hate for this Chaos Knight.
Out of here.
There's a reason. You can't let him continue to farm. He's just finished up that Silver Edge at least. A little bit away from the BKB. They're committing a lot in here. Who did they give the shard over to? It was the Ursa. I was thinking maybe Bristle. You know, he's so jacked. Like, he's got way too much farm for how this game has gone so far, and you know, just enable his potential even further. But I suppose the only time where Omega have looked like losing this game potentially is when you got that pick off onto the Ursa, so every little bit of extra survivability is going to be great. Even going to hit up onto his level 18 with this ancient ancient camp being stolen away. Sam H even using the Elder Dragonfall for it.
My thanks.
Huh. Yeah, I just got my Titan Sliver instead of my chipped vest. I think I'll take that. You gotta move it though.
Wait, what just happened?
Radiant's top
You got the sliver?
Sam H. He's holding
okay.
into a Titan Sliver.
Yeah.
Switches it over, gets the cloak instead. Yeah, why not? Give it over to Mac.
Oh boy. They are some crazy strong neutral items right now. They're just looking to dodge at the moment, but he went blink on Alacrity. Is this just to shove out lanes?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Seems to be the case.
I'll try and start on the Bristleback. Okay.
Silver
That
Edge,
is
baby.
a lot of burst. Great start with the Silver's Edge reveal.
That's all you need. You got a ton of burst as well. With that CK being level 18, didn't even have to pop the Phantasm, but all those crits coming through, perfect synergy together with the Solar Crest, the Urn, all of that break. Even a Bristle isn't unbeatable.
Bot lane. Nice. Out of the Ice Blast, I don't think they get this kill. They're gonna try with Phantasm. He needs a lot of crits to get it. Forced off. Tino detections there, but now you're really close to the T2 tower. So the rotations are gonna come through from Dire. Great rally to drag back. Are you still gonna stick around for the extra life? You know, Max on cooldown for another 30 seconds. Sam H with the counter blink on forward. Tino's actually jumping away, so they're not going to use the Dragon Tail. That was just to give him the space to catch the support. He's still got the BKB. They're going to be able to catch out the Mirana, though. In Your Dream, Mizu detection. Both the cores aren't holding it at the moment, so Shanks is fine right now with the Glimmer. Meanwhile, Alacrity needs help, though. BKB expires. Dragon Tail's on the mark. They're able to stack up the Fury swipes. And In Dream and Mizu still in fighting condition. They got the Ice Blast flying on forward as well. Just clips after the BKB expires. And now with the Shadow Dance BKB protecting up the Slark, it means he doesn't have to worry about anything. Max finally starting to arrive, but it means that In Your Dream has got 33 Essence, and I actually don't think Max is going to be able to turn around on this one. Silver Edge gets the break. In Your Dream, he's got way too much Essence. 44 stacking up now. Mac has to retreat to safety. They'll get a TP out on Polo. Mizu just escapes too. Did they want to brawl? Oh, you got to be so careful. One quill stack might be enough. Mizu can't get the break. Still pounce on full. Look at the damage from In Your Dream. It's so much Agi stolen. Mac will lose his life. Oh, this is a drastic turnaround. The Slark taking over now. And that's your tier 2 tower melted.
153 stolen agility at the time. He was hitting for about 300 with the Echo Saber, just chain bashing in. No way to escape. Pounce, Diffusal Blade, Mindbreaker. Your Dream is a menace for all of these heroes on Omega Esports right now. Even just with that, a single team fight, a casual 3,000 gold that he's been able to farm up for himself. Could opt to go into something like a Sanjin Yasha for himself. It feels a little late perhaps, but still it's going to be quite nice into all of these chain stuns that they do have in the rare instance that you find him out without the Dark Rift being used.
I love this
To go
smoke.
into the Skadi as well though.
Max on cooldown. They still have Essence as well, Tino. Boat. He should... Oh, a bit awkward of a start. Never mind. Won't be able to catch any. They're going to be careful now because they're getting surrounded on the enemy's team side of the map. CML will get caught. At least they get the stun to be able to close the distance. So, all Agi for your Slark is going to be up to 7 perma now.
It's the 7th death for CML. It's the most on the team, but outside of Mac, of course, I would probably say his influence has been the highest on this game. You know, so many multi-man stuns coming through. Perfect position several times to be able to land that Carapace to stop some TPs away. Even in that fight, it allowed them to get the kill in onto Alacrity. Just stands in the boat splash radius. And even just using the mana burn in the middle of a lot of these team fights to be able to take down some of these heroes that don't have quite as large of a mana as the Chaos Knight.
BKB is on cooldown still, and there's no TPs coming to the T2 tower. Meanwhile, Alacrity, double BKBs pop from the Conqueror and Sam H. So this is now getting to the stage where, when you take a look at the probability, it's back actually in Galaxy Racer's favor. They got a 66% chance with the big timing that we've seen come through from them and the strong gameplay.
Giving the bottle over to In Your Dream, who gives the double damage available to him. As they found out here, it's Shanks, not able to be quick enough. Actually has another use of the leap charge if he wants to try and get away.
Oh, TP. They got the damage.
Nicely
I
done.
will say, Alacrity has been a little bit rough on the combos this game. You know, X Torrent or even including the fleet.
You know what, let's just bring it back to normalcy. Me mid laner, me right click, and he's going to have the Chrysalis coming out to himself now. So, good amount of burst potential, capable now on Alacrity. Won't have the Spirit Vessel though, which is always a little troublesome. Yeah, like it's all into right click. He's even gone the Tiebringer cleave as opposed to the Torrent AoE.
Do you feel like he needs damage this game? I thought like something like an Ags with AoE actually could be nice.
I think it could, but maybe just wanting to take out something like the Mirana towards the start of the fight could be, you know, surprise them a little bit, get them a bit low, or some more of these defensive spells like the Moonlight Shadow.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on
You want to
board.
kite them out of that high ground. That is not where you want to walk up.
They got all the vision, and they know that they've got vision up there as well. The Ice Vortex there with the Sentry Ward on the high ground. Trying for a bit of a long wraparound here. Mizu, that's a ballsy play. They're just going to push in the wave. Why not? Me carry, me farm.
Just force them back as well. Now they'd lose that high ground control. So if a fight did break out, you wouldn't have to play into their advantage. That's the main thing. So we will have our third roast of the game up in 2 minutes here. See if either team is just going to try and play it a little bit more passive until that next objective.
Level 23 now in Your Dream. I'm hearing an X marks. It's just to clear out the wave once more on Alacrity. They're trying to delay this game out. I believe... Oh, actually catches Shanks eventually with it. Are they going to take him down? Yes, they do. It's also going to give him the extra... That is a lot of gold. 642 gold for a
so
possible Mirana.
Nick's Bristol's going to get caught. They don't have any backup right now, so In Your Dream starting to feast on the essence. Max in trouble. In Your Dream, this Solar Crest is just able to continue hunting the movement speed, attack speed. In Your Dream's at the front, and he just feasts him down. This Slark pick is just magnificent from Galaxy Racer. You had to get to a stage where he had a couple of items, but now he can man fight 1000%. Butterfly picked up 18 perma, sorry, 18 stolen, I should say. He's going to look to siege.
Get the buyback through onto the Mirana. I feel like it's a rough spot if you're using the buyback onto this Bristol.
Lincoln,
Might be forced to do it
They're
here.
gonna try and burst down Mizu, but a nice force now, but the BKB popped. And Mega, they used everything to start that, and they're gonna get punished here. Mac forced the buyback. Do you want to stick around from Galaxy Racer? That is a lot. DK bursts it down thanks to the Ice Blast. In Your Dream, Shadow Dances on cooldown along with the BKB. So Mac tipping on in. Cold Feet will give them an opportunity to be able to reset. 35 stolen Agi for In Your Dream. They really need that Silver's Edge, however, to kill off Mac again. And unfortunately, the Chaos Knight is not with them. He's starting to connect just in case they do push forward a little bit too far to punish.
He connect to them, though. CML is on a bit of a hunt. Doesn't have the vision just yet. Oh, tried to go for a lucky bash. Might end up costing him his life here. Oh, burrows into the ground.
No, get away from me. Look at that damage.
Just from illusions. Is he gonna die?
Oh my lord.
Damn, close.
That Aghanim shot is crazy. Alright, well, Roche is up. Now, Dai do take it really fast. Refresher shot. Not that it's very impactful for Dai. Maybe a double BKB potentially. Slug.
Pulled out a little bit here. BKB not used.
Backline Mizu is a bit away from the team as well, but with 3100 HP, very difficult to kill. You see Mac just looking to stack everything up. Quills, Warpath, Goo. Wants to be that raid boss, but this has to be a perfect fight for Omega. As it looks like that start, that's not how you want it. Shank's gonna get brought down. He doesn't have a buyback. They're looking to try and control the higher ground, but In Your Dream. Straight on top of the Nyx Assassin Soulbind, locks it both the Bristle now with the Earth, so the communication needs to be on point. They're locking onto Alacrity, but a Spider Leg's able to kite them up on the high ground. Now In Your Dream feasting away. The BKB is about to expire, so he's going to try and protect himself with the Shadow Dance, but the AoE stun, Impale locks him in, but it's locking him out. And Matt on top of the backline, they've got the Spirit Vessel, they've got the damage. 32 actually stolen from In Your Dream, and now we can go back in. CML safety, Tino actually kills off the Ancient Apparition. They'll drag it back with the X, and Tino is going to lose his life. 3 down, only 1 has buyback. And this is just looking like it's going to be Roshan as well. Aegis Cheese, Refresher Shard available for Galaxy Racer.
I wonder who they give this one over to. No, it's not the Accept. Okay, the Refresher Shard. Mizu, perhaps? No, he's going to TP back to base. I was thinking that because he's got his Acceptor now as well. So you talk about all of these chain lockdowns that you might be able to get in onto someone with that Dragon Tail, with the max duration arrow. But you're just able to use a simple Phantasm. Gets rid of it. Not too much impact at all. And again, it feels like every single game we see this sort of play. Around this bottom side of the map where the enemy carry might be feeling a little bit safer. He's just hunting. With that Shadow Blade, just trying to bait out someone. It's so tempting as well for him to be able to go into this creep wave and get his level 25, but gets it anyway. Extra Phantasm generation is fantastic.
I honestly would not mind them giving over the Refresher to the Slark. I think double BKB, double Shadow Dance. He wins you this game, 1000%. Yes, the second boat's going to be nice, maybe a double BKB for Conquer, but like In Your Dream is going to be all up in that face, and there's no way you kill him when he's got double of those defensive factors.
CML's positioning in that fight was pretty good as well, but they just had so much sentry control down on the Radiant side that there wasn't anything that he could do. No matter where he went, someone was always hunting him, someone was always CCing him. And those BKBs, the Slark with the Dark Pact, of course, it just didn't feel like they cared all that much. They were playing up against a Nyx.
It does seem like the issue is as well, like, Nyx can't really... Often, with that damage mitigation, Nyx loves to sit in the front line. He's going to tank up abilities. The enemy team recognizes that, oh, wait, this is a Nyx we can't kill. But Slark, if he can't lock onto a target and sees a Nyx first, he's okay with that. He doesn't care about getting the damage. It's the essence. You know, every little bit will continue stacking up. So the Nyx still has to be kind of cautious, because that's what we saw on the stair line. In Your Dream hit him a couple times. Once he locked onto a target, then he swapped over afterwards.
And you talk about building up that essence. What better thing than a mood shard to be able to do that?
Yeah.
And your Dream's holding it right now. They're not even using the defensive potential from that Aghanim Scepter coming through from Chaos Knight. They just want to siege all these illusions. How do you clear it? Bristle's the only one that can clear.
I don't know. This mana burn is really annoying for the Slark. Mid lane, Tino.
Welcome back.
But you don't want to pop a BKB, but you might be forced through the 4 seconds time. Tino. BKB enrages off, but now it's completely wasted. They're still able to drag it back with the early rift. Sam H's going to try and blink it forward. Now with the double soul bind in a dream. Stacking up the essence. They've been able to kill off the Conquer, but the real carry is going to be the Slark this game. A buyback will come through, but they don't have the outpost control. So the Conquer unable to rejoin the fight. But the big issue is that Mac assassinated, brought down from the Slark. And this is it. You cannot handle a Slark at the late game. The win condition has been online for quite some time. He's still got the Aegis, 33 stolen essence, pounces off the mark. The buyback on the Nyx. Mac doesn't have his for another 2 minutes 10. But the objective
Feels like you can't even
damage.
kill the Aegis. Not without the bristleback.
No chance.
Killing him twice, impossible. They're doing the smart thing as well, splitting the map, making sure that they're taking both sets of racks here. Just with the illusions, not committing too much on Mizu, and then on the top side in your Dream going to work. They're going to attempt it.
Oh, I said no chance. Maybe the first life. Okay, Arrow gets the kill. That gets rid of a lot of the essence as well that he had. But he just wanted the objectives. Mega Creeps Gaming. They're not even leaving the base right now. They do give Slark the refresher shard. Backline, Mizu finds a Dragon Knight. The crits are going to be able to come through it. DK will fall, but he's got a buyback. He can look to rejoin. Backs up in 25 seconds, but your throne's exposed and they just call it quits. Galaxy Racer, with that victory, have secured the upper bracket, and unfortunately for Omega, they will not be able to take the 2-0. It is only game 1, but to make it into the upper bracket, they needed this 2-0 victory.
Nicely done by Galaxy Racer. It was a shaky start to the game. Lots of action. It felt a little clowny at times, to be honest. You know, just 2-man rotations going around the map, picking off someone with not too much purpose to it, you know? It felt like they really needed to deathball behind this bristleback, come together, and take some objectives that really mattered. You know, they didn't take any racks. They had a tough time even taking tier 2s at some point. So I don't think they did anything near enough to push the advantage that they had when Mac just felt unstoppable. And, well, unfortunately for Tino, it kind of felt like it was on him a little bit, going a little bit too deep. That enrage, that Aegis, sometimes lulls you into a false sense of confidence, ends up costing him.
Just, what a draft. That last pick Slark, I didn't see it coming, but it's a crazy game. You come online, you're going to win this. Like, this is a free Slark game, and it showed for In Your Dream once he had those items. They just had to make that space. The early game itemization gave them that opportunity. I feel like if they didn't have that Spirit Vessel, didn't have the Ice Blast to be able to find those kills, the Silver's Edge as well, that's really where we saw it turn around when they got that surprise burst kill on Mac. From there, they just started to crumble from Omega, gave them a massive amount of influx of gold. Those items started to get picked up, a little bit more map control, and they just couldn't handle these long, chaotic fights where Omega had to find the quick pickoffs. That's what we've seen so far with a lot of Nyx Assassin, Mirana lineup. You know, the Ursa needs a quick pickoff as well. But if you play a fight into the strong suit of a Slark, he's going to punish you. And that is exactly what happened in this game 1. And now, guys, we got one game left of the group stages. It's been 7 days of games, and now it all comes down to one more. Unfortunately, I was kind of, you know, for storyline, I was kind of hoping Omega were able to win this, just because then that last game would have at least been able to tell who would have made it to the upper bracket and lower bracket, but that's not the case. We're still going to have a crazy last game here to end the group stages, so I'm excited for that one. One more game until we are done and playoffs are underway. We'll see you guys shortly after a quick break.